Hello and welcome back to Best Bets. What's going on? I am Matt O'Leary alongside Newsday's Joe Manniello. Joe, how's it going?
Doing good, Matt. How are you?
Doing pretty good. We're down to one final game, Rams and Bengals. It's been a little bit since we talked. We both went 1-1 in the championship round. So you're sitting at 54-53-1, and I'm at 46-62-1. So a chance for you to stay over 500. That'd be pretty nice.
I need to win this one.
Absolutely. So we're gonna hop in. We're gonna make our pick for this game, and then we're gonna get into some props after that. So just looking here with these two teams, does any play against the spread stand out to you?
Well, I mean, we got to pick the game, but like I said before I came on, I just don't feel like I don't have a great feel for this game, and we both picked the Rams before the season started, so we're not surprised they're there, but neither of us picked them when the playoffs started. And going into the championship round 2 weeks ago, I thought it was going to be Kansas City and the 49ers. I mean, obviously, if the Rams won, I wouldn't be shocked, but it's still kind of hard to believe that the Bengals won that game. I mean, down 21-3, and that's part of the reason why I'm going to pick the Bengals. I think there are a few reasons I like them. I feel like all the pressure's on the Rams. They're home, which is that happened to the Bucs last year. So they're a win now team. They brought in all these superstars. So they brought in Stafford. So much pressure's on them. The Bengals, no one expected them to be there, but I feel like they belong. I don't think this is going to be a blowout at all. I think it's going to be a super close game. So to me, 4 points. I think the spread is enticing to take the Bengals here. I think it's probably closer to 3. I'm surprised it hasn't come down because all these games are close. I mean, with the exception of a couple blowouts in the wild card weekend. Look at the divisional round. They all went to basically decided on the last play of the game. The Rams needed a late turnover to beat the Niners. The Bengals went in overtime at Kansas City. All these games are close, and we've talked about it all year. This is the most wide open NFL season I can remember. So I don't see why the Bengals, a team that won 4 games last year, can't win it all. I mean, they've proven they belong. Joe Burrow, I mean, he's just so cool under pressure. They beat the Titans in the divisional round after he got sacked nine times. It's hard to believe. The following week, he only got sacked once, and a big part of it was that he extended plays. He used his legs to pick up some key first downs for them to come back. I think the moment won't be too big for him. We saw what he did at LSU in the national title game. Had a huge game against Trevor Lawrence and Clemson. He's 25 years old. He's not like some 22-year-old kid. So I think the Bengals they've shown they belong. The biggest concern for me in picking the Bengals is that Aaron Donald and Von Miller can just totally wreck this game.
Yep.
And if they get a sack, if they sack on the first play or something like that, that's my biggest concern. Like, to be honest with you, when I first saw the matchup, my first thought was, all right, I'm taking the Rams. They're literally at home. They're a win now team, and they have the best D line against the offensive line that hasn't been that great. But, I've been writing the picks column for 7 years, and the NFL is never that simple. You can't just pick it because of that. Like, it's not, the Bengals have had 2 weeks to prepare here, and I think the most intriguing matchup is the coaching matchup. When McVay and the Rams made the Super Bowl 4 years ago, it was up against Bill Belichick. So he was, we both were big fans of McVay. But he never adjusted in that game. They scored 3 points. I mean, they were scoring over 30 points a game that season, and they scored 3 points, and it was just an awful game, and he never made adjustments. It was so weird. So, going in here, the average fan might think, oh, McVay has an edge, he's the young wonder kid. But to me, Zach Taylor, he's been in the room. He was the quarterback's coach for the Rams that Super Bowl season. He knows McVay. It's like, you ever see the movie Little Giants from Rick Moranis? Knows the play against I'm going to say Al Bundy, against Ed O'Neill. It's like he knows the play. So it's like, I think it's, obviously coaches know McVay's tendencies, but they've never been in the same room with him. Like, this guy probably spent, 12 hours a day with him during the season. He knows what his game plans are. So I feel like there will be a way for the Bengals to have an edge on defense. But I feel like offense, they're going to run the ball a lot early on. They're going to try to keep the D-line honest. I think, a lot of quick throws, reverses. I think, the whole, Aaron Donald's going to win the game. I feel like it's overrated, and I'm happy I didn't pick it just because of that, because it just seems too obvious. So to me, this all comes back to the point spread being 4. If it was 2.5, I'm not so sure I take the Bengals. I have to think more about it. But getting over a field goal in a close game, I think this is going to be a super close game. I'm picking a 23-20 Bengals. If you're going to pick them with the points, I'm going to go the whole way. They've played they've shown that you can't count them out. I mean, I still can't believe they beat Kansas City after being down 21-3. Huge credit to their defense. They have some unheralded guys on defensive line. And I trust Burrow more than Stafford. I mean, nothing against Stafford. I think he's obviously a top 10 quarterback, but I feel all the pressure's on the Rams. This game is, they're down 20-17 in the fourth quarter, and he's the ball. Like, oh my God, we're down. We're home. How are we going to lose to the Bengals? Who's the Bengals? So maybe I'm overstating that, but that's how I look at these games, and I think Bengals they're going to do it. I think the Bengals are going to win the game, so I'm taking it 23-20, so getting 4 points. Give me the Bengals.
All right. I, too, am going to take the Bengals here at +4, and I feel very similar to you in this game. I've gone for really the last 2 weeks almost back and forth with who I think is going to win the game outright. So to me, that just says take the underdog if they're getting 4 points. It's more than a field goal. So if you think it's going to be a close game regardless, I feel like the smart play would be to go with the Bengals getting 4. And I could absolutely see a world where they win this game. I also think, gun to my head, I'm probably taking the Rams here, but in a close game. I think this is a 2-point or 3-point game, and I think it's going to go, right down to the wire in the fourth quarter, maybe a game-winning drive or something along those lines. But the Bengals have been really good to us against the spread. I think they've covered 7 straight games. And look, like you said, the Rams were our preseason pick. We were both very high on them and then kind of dwindled off. And I don't know, the Bengals they almost feel like that team of destiny. So I don't want to be on the wrong side of that. I'm taking the Bengals here. I still think the Rams probably win, but I don't know. I think it'll be a lower scoring game than some people realize too. I'm going to take Rams 20-17, but the Bengals cover.
Oh, you're taking the Rams. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's going to, but like I said, I wouldn't be shocked if the Bengals won. I've went back and forth so many times in the last couple of weeks.
I think it's a tough game. I don't have a great feel on it, but that's okay. You don't have to like every game.
Absolutely. So with it only being one game, and the Super Bowl's always big with the prop bets and all kinds of different bets, what jumps out to you? How about a couple interesting props?
Well, there are a few. There's so many great ones. You could do Gatorade toss, national anthem. You could do Super Bowl commercial bets and halftime show. There's so many of them, but we're going to do 3 each. All right, so here's one I always seem to take, and I just feel like there's so much value in it. And it's, will there be overtime? Yes, plus 800, right? I'm pretty sure it's plus 800.
Yep.
So you get nice odds here, and like we talked about, it's going to be a close game. And this playoffs has already had so many overtime games, late finishes. Why wouldn't it? Why is it so extreme for 2 basically evenly matched teams? I don't think either team's going to run away with it. So why can't this game go to overtime? So I think it's just great value there. So why not take a shot, get an 8-1 odds?
Yeah, I like that one. That's an interesting play. And, like we're saying, we think it's going to be a close game. So with those odds, I don't blame you there at all. And one of the ones that you kind of hinted at was the anthem. And that's one that I really like, especially a lot this year. So right now the line's at 98 seconds for the over and the under. And if you go back over the last 9 years, it's been 98 seconds or more. Now, the over hasn't hit every single time. There's been some where the lines have been a little bit higher than this 98 seconds, but I feel like they got this one wrong. I feel like that's not enough time here. A minute 38. I think we're going to see it go a lot longer than that.
Are you familiar with the artist? I can't even think of the name right now off the top of my head.
It's Mickey Guyton. She's a country singer, and I think I'm almost positive in her one other time singing the anthem that I could find on YouTube, it was around a minute 43.
Okay, it's funny you say that because a coworker of mine, we haven't been in the newsroom almost 2 years now, but when we used to, the Super Bowl every year, it was like we all really used to have fun, take our stopwatches out, and I remember Billy Joel did it, we were all timing it to see. Like you said, it always almost always goes over, but I feel this is a weird thing to say because it's just the anthem, but it's such a low number. Usually it's like 2 minutes. So I think he told me he saw something where she did it in like 1:31 or something like that. I could have sworn he said that. Maybe I'm wrong, but I mean, not to poo-poo your pick, but it just seems like if it's so low, there's a reason why it's so low. So I'm going to investigate it myself because I'm going to make that pick. I always include that with my Sunday props pick. So I'm going to do a deeper dive on that and get back to you on Twitter.
Okay, yes, please do. Keep me in the loop there. What else do we have for us in these props?
Okay, so to me, the prop bets are like if you are doing them, like you should have fun with them. You shouldn't take them too seriously. Try to get some big numbers here and try to cash in. Here's one that probably won't happen, but hey, it's worth a shot. Plus 3,300, 33-1. Evan McPherson, the Bengals rookie kicker, who's not really a rookie anymore, it's the way he's playing, to win MVP.
Okay.
I mean, Stafford or Burrow is probably going to win, or maybe Kupp or Beckham or Chase, one of the star players. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a quarterback. But here's the thing: if it's a low-scoring game, if it's like a 15-12 final and it's a battle of field goals, how are they going to give it to a quarterback when the kicker scores all the points and gets the winning kick? I mean, he's 12 for 12 in the playoffs. I had to look at it twice. I couldn't believe it. He's hit 4 field goals in each of the playoff wins, wow, including 2 winners, 1 in overtime. Guy's automatic. So, it's worth a shot, 33-1. I mean, you don't get those odds on most bets. So I think it's worth a shot.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, he's been phenomenal too in the playoffs and extremely clutch. So I feel like that'd be an awesome storyline for him to hit too. For my next one, I'm gonna go with Odell Beckham Jr. for the first touchdown scorer. You can find that around plus 900. Ever since he's gone to the Rams, he's been very, very involved. And you could go with the chalk answer and take a running back or, take Cooper Kupp or something like that. But I feel like usually these are someone who's down the board a little bit and just, I don't know, with how much he's been involved in their offense, I think he's going to get fed the ball a significant amount. So I like Beckham to get in the end zone first.
Yeah, I didn't see the prop. I didn't see the option here, but I like to go out there with these picks. Joe Burrow to me, to score the first touchdown. I think that's an interesting one, and not just a rush. Like if there's a way you can get, if anyone's listening out there is really into prop bets, if there's a way to find Joe Burrow to catch a touchdown, I think that's a good prop because I think they're gonna have to do some trickeration. The way the Eagles did against the Patriots is Philly special. I could totally see Burrow scoring a touchdown the way Foles did. Maybe I'm just too far into the moment or something, but I don't know. I feel like something's gonna be up their sleeve.
All right, and then how about one more each? We'll do.
Okay, speaking of Burrow here, so. The last pick was about McPherson as MVP, but this is a little more safer bet, but it's an interesting one. I feel like these prop bets, you got to go find some interesting ones. So, who will the Super Bowl MVP mention first in his speech after the game? I guess on the field or on the podium or even in the interview room, whatever. So, if the Bengals win, like I'm predicting, it's a strong chance it's going to be Burrow, even though I just said take a shot at McPherson, but let's get a little more real for this one. So there's an option that you have teammates, coach, God, family, and then the one that jumped out to me was City, plus 500. I'm pretty sure it's plus 500. So if Joe Burrow wins and he mentions Cincinnati first, like the city of Cincinnati, I think that's a good play because they haven't won a playoff game since 1991 before they beat the Raiders. They had never won a road playoff game until the following week when they beat the Titans, and this is their first Super Bowl since the Boomer Esiason days. So I feel like Burrow, he's like a class act. I can totally see him. Let's say they win, and they ask him, after you go to Disney World, what do you, who do you, I can picture him saying, "Oh, I'm so proud. I'm so happy for Cincinnati and all the great people who stuck with this franchise for all the years." So I'm gonna go with that one. Super Bowl MVP mentions City first, plus 500 in his acceptance speech.
Okay, I like that, and especially at plus 500 too. That's an interesting one.
Good luck writing that down when you post it. I don't know how you're going to get that into.
Yeah, that's going to be very long on the card. And my final one, I'm going to go with Rams over 3.5 sacks in this game at plus 105. The Bengals have let up more than 3.5 sacks 7 times this year against the Titans. He had Burrow got sacked 9 times, like just crazy number. And I think with this pass rush, they'll be able to get home against this Bengals offensive line. Now, I don't think it'll be the entire story of the game. Like you said earlier, a lot of people are making that pretty much just the only story in this one. But I think he's going to be rushed. He's going to get hit a lot in this game. And I think he goes down probably somewhere around 4 or 5 times in this game.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's probably the smart thing, but just to be devil's advocate, I can totally see the Bengals' whole game plan being getting the ball out like at laser speed. So I was looking for under Aaron Donald's sack. I don't know, I didn't see it, but I'm assuming it's probably 1.5 or something like that. But I thought that might be a good against the green kind of play because everyone's talking about the defensive line and watch them get shut out.
Yeah, that would be
Probably not.
it would be ironic, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So run through these real quick. We are both on the Bengals +4 for the against the spread pick. For my props, I'm going with the over on the anthem at 98 seconds. Odell Beckham Jr. first touchdown +900, and Rams over 3.5 sacks at +105. Joe is going with Evan McPherson MVP at +3,300. Game to go to overtime at +800, and Joe Burrow, or the MVP, mentioning Cincinnati first at +500. So it's been a lot of fun, Joe. Appreciate you doing this with me as always, and we'll talk soon.
Fun. All right, Matt. Great job. Thank you.